What's up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're kicking it old school with a good old-fashioned foundation review and wear test. Haven't done a single product review video like this in a really long time. I feel like the whole community has kind of migrated into talking about like a full face of makeup whenever they do review videos, and that can be informative, like that can be kind of fun to watch, but sometimes I just want to hear about that one product that I've searched for and be done with this. But today we're talking about the brand new Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage Foundation. So I've mainly heard Tati rave about this. I have heard a couple of other reviews, and it's got very mixed reviews online. So the only way to know for sure is to try it for yourself. So yeah, I'm gonna be giving you all the deets. Is it worth the price? Is it worth the hype? All that you need to know. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So if you like videos like this where it's just single product reviews focusing on one product and one product alone, make sure you give it a thumbs up to let me know that you want to see more like it, and I will continue to do these. And subscribe to my channel and stick around and join my wonderful community, and also please turn your bell on. I've had so many people tell me they've been subscribed for a really long time and they never see my videos in their news feed, so they just assume that I'm not uploading. So turn that bell on so that you never miss an upload from me. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So this is $36, and once again, this is the full coverage 24-hour foundation. I will have all the places where you can find it linked below in the description box. So there are 40 shades, and it looks like it goes pretty light and pretty dark. Like it looks like there's a very big spectrum of shades. I got 2.0, and I will say whenever I was swatching in the store, I let it sit there on my hand for a little while, and it did turn probably like 1 to 1.5 shades darker. So I went with this one, which looked a little light at first, but it's my right undertone, and whenever it oxidized, it ended up being a pretty good match on me. So let's go ahead and read what it says. So it says a weightless 24-hour full coverage foundation with oil and shine control that's also waterproof, sweat resistant, and won't look cakey or cause blemishes, which is a very big plus for me right now in case you can't see what's going on. It's supposed to be a matte finish. It's supposed to be good for normal, dry, combination, oily skin. And it kind of highlights the ingredients. It says it has kaolin clay with bamboo powder, which is what controls oil and shine. It has hyaluronic acid, which nurtures the skin, and hyaluronic acid is a moisture magnet, so it's going to attract moisture to the skin as well. And also vitamin E, which protects skin against environmental aggressors. It's free of sulfates, parabens, formaldehydes, phthalates, retinol palmitate, coal tar, and a bunch of other things. I'm not really sure what they are, so you can go read that for yourself. And it contains less than 1% of synthetic fragrances, and you get the 1 fluid ounce standard amount for a foundation. So I do have oily skin. I do typically get oily in my T-zone, not with every foundation, and I am kind of calming down where it's kind of getting more into the colder weather, but I do have very, very acne prone skin. I look for very full coverage because I do have a lot of acne and a lot of texture and blemishes to cover up right now. So I'm going to test this without primer. I haven't really been wearing primer a whole lot lately, but I've just got some moisturizer and some skincare and stuff on, so I've really prepped my skin well. So I'm going to start out on this side. I'm going to do a sponge on one side and a brush on the other. Here's what 2.0 looks like. And as you can see, it's very thick. So I'm just going to go ahead and dot this on one side of my face. And this is the side that we're going to be using a sponge. And I usually like to start off dotting it wherever I have the most to cover up, like wherever I have my blemishes or redness or anything, just to kind of soak up that pigment and to get the most pigment in those areas. And I'm gonna go in and just bounce this out. This is supposed to be very, very pigmented, and a little bit is supposed to go a really long way, so I'd rather start off with little and then build it up whenever I need it. So I definitely recommend working in small sections at a time because it does dry down and set really, really fast, which could be a good or bad thing depending on how you look at it and what kind of skin you have, but it's not really wanting to spread a whole lot. So I probably, instead of just like putting all over my face, like all over this side, I probably should have started right here and worked a little bit faster. There's what one layer looks like, and I feel like I didn't really get to spread it a whole lot back here. So I'm definitely gonna go in and build that up a little bit because that's like, there's no foundation back there at all. Let's try dotting it again, but just dotting it in one area at a time, like wherever I'm planning on working on. So let's just do this little area right back here. So it definitely is very pigmented. As you can see, had a lot to cover up, and that covered it up almost instantaneously. I'm gonna go back up to my forehead and just kind of work on this section a little bit too. I don't know if this would be the best for dry skin, even though it does have hyaluronic acid in it. I do feel like this is definitely gonna be better for oily or combination skin. It definitely does work a lot better whenever you go straight into it whenever it's wet, because if you let it dry just like even like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, it definitely gets a little bit too dry and it starts setting. I mean, 2 layers gets me pretty much exactly where I want to be. So yeah, here's what it looks like with the sponge, and I'm very, very happy with that coverage. It covered up everything, and it's doing it very flawlessly, and it's not emphasizing anything because it is a matte finish, and with matte finishes, you have to be careful with like texture or blemishes, and I do have some like drier, scabby looking regions on my face right now. So yeah, you have to be careful with matte foundations whenever you have like any kind of dry textures on your skin, but it's not emphasizing that right now. It's still tacky. It's not super transferable, but I mean, I definitely do get product lift off whenever I touch it to my fingers. So it's not completely like a powder finish or anything. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the other side with the brush. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing. And I think this time, let's see. I think I will dot it on, but I'm not gonna use as much product. I'm just gonna work in this region. And usually I don't like using a brush with matte foundations just because I feel like brushes already kind of absorb any kind of luminosity or sheen that a foundation could have, and I do like a little bit of glow. All right, so here's the brush side completely done, and I like this side as well. I feel like I did get fuller coverage faster with the brush than I did with the sponge. It did set a lot faster whenever I used the brush. Like, it did set to be more of that matte finish a lot faster, because even when I touch it, it's definitely less tacky. I will say this is definitely not a very buildable or layerable foundation. This is one of those that once it sets and dries down, you're done. I will say I do see the potential in it kind of emphasizing drier areas on my face. I'm not sure yet. This is the driest my skin's been since I started trying the foundation, so we will definitely be paying close attention to that today, because I do have some drier scabby areas. My forehead's been a little bit dry today. So I have been sitting here completely done for about 20 minutes, so it's 1:21 right now, but I'm gonna say 1 o'clock for my check-in time just to make it an even number. But just to show you the time, it's 1:21, but 1 o'clock will be our check-in time. So I'm back, and if you wanna know what I'm wearing on the rest of my face, I'll have it all linked below. And I may even do a separate video on this eye look, because I'm kind of digging it. So I may do like a testing video or get ready with me or tutorial or something. If you guys want to see me recreate this look, then let me know in the comments below. But as far as my face goes, I only said my under eye area and my T-zone. So just my forehead right here, and then my nose right around here, and then like around my mouth and my chin, just because I will be going outside and working out today, and it's kind of hot today, so I just want to give the foundation a fair shot. And then I also use a setting spray just because that is a necessity for me, especially with a matte foundation. There's just no way I could go without a setting spray. The foundation is looking really nice. Everything applied really nicely on top. I didn't have blending issues or drag issues or anything like that. But I will say, even though it does look good, I think I would like this foundation a lot better in the summertime. I probably should have tested it like 2 months ago instead of now. Just because in the wintertime and in the colder months, I really don't like matte foundations. They don't mix well with dry skin. And I woke up this morning with a little dry, scabby blemish, and then like my forehead in general is just all flaky and dry and gross looking. So I don't see a big problem now, but I definitely see it getting worse throughout the day if I don't go outside and get sweaty. I feel like once I go outside and work out and stuff and I do get a little bit oily, I feel like the foundation will kind of melt and just kind of, I don't know, meld into my skin better. So I would say if you have oily or combination skin, you're probably good to go. But if you have dry skin, I would probably say go ahead and avoid this foundation unless you're willing to mix it in with an oil. I feel like an oil would make this 10 times better. I need to try that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go about my day, and I'll come back at the end of the night to show you how it wore. So yeah, I'll be right back in like 7 hours. All right, so I'm back for my final check-in of the night, or should I say check out of the night. So it is now 9 o'clock. So our check-in time was 1 o'clock, so 8-hour wear test. So yeah, I went outside, sweat, got all oily, was out in the sun, did the whole shebang. So here's what we're looking like now. I do see some like fade off and some settling around my nose area. Like it's kind of settled into pores and stuff, and there's some redness right around my nose area. Definitely did have some transfer around my nose where I had my sunglasses on. There was tons of transfer, and I really didn't expect that because this is supposed to be a 24-hour foundation. I mean, unless you just sit in the house with like a fan blowing on you all the time, how is it going to hold up through any kind of condition? I do see some settling and fade off on my chin. It's a little red and splotchy, and there's just certain spots, like mainly my T-zone, that just look kind of splotchy and uneven. But my biggest issue, and what I feel like is most noticeable, is my forehead. So as I said earlier, my forehead's a little bit more dry today, and I thought that once I got oily, it would kind of meld the foundation better, but I still see that issue. It definitely has settled a little bit more into like the dry flakage areas, and I don't know, like in between my eyebrows, it looks very dry and just like spotty and cakey and just weird. And also I forgot to mention around the 4-hour mark, so around like 5 o'clock, I started noticing that my mouth area started feeling kind of tight and dry. And then also my forehead. It kind of seems like the places that I powdered had more of a problem. So maybe I don't need a powder at all. I'm not really sure. So I'm disappointed. Like I really, really wanted to like this. I was really hoping that this would be the end-all be-all foundation. It would beat out every other foundation that I've tried and just, you know, be a game changer. But it's not for my skin. And I'm kind of shocked because I didn't encounter any of these issues the other times I've worn this. And I guess it just goes to show you that not just every single person's skin is different, but even your own skin is different from day to day, month to month, season to season. So it's just, you're always taking a long shot with this. So I would like to revisit this foundation maybe in the summertime. So, you know, maybe when I'm more oily. But as far as how it looks overall, it's really not that great to be a 24-hour foundation. It's a no-go. So that is it for this foundation review and wear test. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you want to see more videos like this where it's single product focused, then give this video a thumbs up so I know to do more. And subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one. Mwah.